It's what his child is being promoted in their school as poetry.
That was one of the
Sorry.
poems that,
What the?
You motherfuckers need Jesus in your wicked ways. Well, you know that he's coming and we're gonna be running when we're at the end of days. You motherfuckers need Jesus, but he's deep down in the hole. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
there you go. Or I can read it, or you just read it to yourself. But
I'll read it aloud just for fun.
okay,
Is that the title of the poem?
the poem. So the poem is called Harlem, and it's by Langston
Harlem.
Hughes. Yeah. But what happens to a dream deferred is the first line, and then it ends. Yeah, this is the whole thing is on screen.
What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat? Or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load. Or does it explode? Wow, that's terrible.
It's a pretty grotesque poem. I don't know what I. It
So
just seems
why are
like
we
a
looking
weird
at
poem
that?
to choose.
It's what his child is being promoted in their school as poetry.
That was one of the
Sorry.
poems that-
What the fuck?
okay, so I'm not just that.
All right.
That was
so
exactly the poem.
I'm a lefty man, but your schools have gone fucking.
And I'm
Oh,
in
there's
Kansas. I'm in
Something
Kansas.
going
This is
wrong there.
I'm a righty. This is the rightiest part of the. I mean, I whatever. Yeah, I mean, this is the most conservative part of the country, probably, and that's their nasty fucking poem.
God, like, well, the most controversial thing that we had in a book was that there was a book. The main character, Lockie Leonard, a 14-year-old boy, woke up and had a sticky substance in his sheet that smelled like bean sprouts, and he had to sneak in and wash them before his parents woke up.
Which seems a little bit unnecessary.
Yeah, but it was like, we thought, we're treated like adults because we get to read this cool thing in a teenage, but it wasn't that weird fucking doomsday sounding shit.
I don't understand the
What
redeeming
was
value
that?
of it. And so my daughter missed the day of school that they went over that, and so she was trying to catch up on homework, and I'm helping her with some of it, and I'm looking at this going, don't even answer the questions on this. You're just not doing this homework assignment.
That was weird. I forgot that you said you were going to get the poem from your daughter's schoolwork. When you showed me it, I was like, what is this weird shit? Why are you showing you this?
Mm-hmm.
So
It
it was
did
more
contain the word
shocking.
like.
I don't even know what it's supposed to be describing. It doesn't matter. It's gross. It's gross.
Yeah.
And what age group is this?
Middle school.
Middle school.
So like 11 to 14. I think
Whoa.
I know that 6th and 7th grade got it. I assume 8th did too, since the other two did. But
So this is a cross grade thing.
yes. Wait till you hear about drag queen story hours.
What?
I think humans need accepted and normalized. But I don't think that extremely exceptional behaviors should be presented as normal. They're not.
Right.
No.
It's definitionally not.
My thing is dress a normal woman like a drag queen dresses,
Yeah.
and then get her to present something to your children. You wouldn't do it because
Well,
it's not
yeah.
about men dressing as women. It's about the drag queens are sexualized. It's a
definitely are.
sexualized idea,
And it's not
even
a
drag
sexual
queens
identity.
will admit this.
But it's
Yeah.
and it's not a origin. It's not a gender identity. It's a hobby at best and a fetish at worst.
Yeah, it's
And
based around a fetish. It's nothing to do with trans. Yeah,
Now,
like you said,
that is,
gender or trans.
in all fairness, that is not in schools. At least not most of them. That's the public libraries, which isn't a whole shit ton better, but
which is still just bizarre.
right.
Like it's such a juxtaposition. What's the most respectable, honorable, important part of a fucking society?
Kids.
It's information. It's library.
Well, and
Library.
but why would
And let's
what-
just put fucking sex dances in there.
And so, what's the
yeah, that makes no
reason
sense.
that you would? What's a valid reason that drag queens would even want to do this? Because I know,
Yeah.
as which they are, I'm not particularly interested in freaking kids. Right? They're not fun. They're dirty. Like I like mine. I don't like everybody's.
Yeah.
They're not particularly smart.
They're loud. You know. They're,
No, they think they're smart, but they're dumb as shit usually. And
I was
you
too.
punch
I'm
them
not
and they
picking on them.
cry.
I get it if you're some sort of educator, but you're going to tell me that all these drag queens are interested in children's reading? It is
Yeah.
pretty odd.
And now let's assume all best intentions for in initiating this sort of thing. You have to also acknowledge it's like chum in the water for people with worst intentions, right?
I think, which is
That could be a
probably a
slippery slope
case of,
fallacy.
but
I
I'm
mean,
pretty
it's-
generous. But I would say that at the very least, it's provocation. It's a statement. They're not. They don't give a fuck about the kids. They want to cause this. Us discussing it. They want people talking about it, and they'll do it at any cost. And they're doing it at the cost of our kids.
Well, we're subsidized. It's government subsidized.
You know, if my English teacher in 7th grade, who was a very attractive woman, especially when I was in 7th grade, I mean, she was just below 30 years old. She had long, flowing red hair with a slight curl to it. She was tall, slender, and buxom. She looked like a supermodel to me, you know. If she'd have dressed like these drag queen, etc., story time teller people dressed, she'd have been fired in a hot minute. There's no way she'd have kept that job. It's not okay.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It still blows my mind. Like, how did we end up here?
Would you take your kids to a strip club? I mean, do you think that's okay?
I absolutely
If the
would
strippers were at the beginning of their set and they were as dressed as they were going to be, but they were obviously dressed super provocative on purpose, and they were reading stories from VeggieTales, would that be okay with you?
not. So I'm a pretty and I don't shelter my kid. Like I don't believe in sheltering really. So, but no, I wouldn't. And I think I mean, it would. How much would that say about me, right?
Right.
Like that says some real weird shit about me. I think a kid could be exposed to that and be fine. To have me expose them to it and then have it promoted by a parent, that's a whole different sort of paradigm than just being exposed to it, like we were to porn magazines when we were kids.
KCA, just find me a drag queen which is not dressed something like a stripper.
Yeah, before the stripper takes their clothes off.
Yeah, well, you know, at the beginning, I said at the beginning of their set.
It's for money. I mean, there's just no. I mean, people can claim it's not sexual, and it's a lie.
I just don't want my kids exposed to that. I don't care about the actual gender of the person.
Like this, even something that we find societally acceptable, like girls wearing a bikini thong at the beach, right? Totally legal.
That's weird
If
enough.
if a girl turned up at the library in her bikini thong and tried to read to your kids, it would be
Yeah.
a national outrage. And that's not even generally thought of as a sexual thing, even though I think it is. I think anyone that wears a thong at the beach and doesn't think it's sexual is fooling themselves, but
But
Dude,
definitely, if
I
you wear
was
that's a whole
I
different
was once
debate.
I was once a healthy young prepubescent boy at a provocative beach in Virginia Beach. And
It's
let me
very
tell you,
hard.
there were times where my body started reacting at like
Yeah.
8 years old, and
Get
I
in the
did not
water.
want mom to notice that my body had reacted that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all I can say is make sure you wear board shorts, not dick stickers or whatever you used to call
Not
them.
ready to get
Yeah,
out yet,
budgie
Mom.
smugglers.
Nope, think I'll stay in the water and take the F, sir. No.
But yeah, for me, the real issue is how it's being promoted by adults, by parents, by teachers. This is just weird channels to get things through
Yeah.
like that. I don't know. I was not particularly sheltered. I probably went to a strip club younger than anybody here. I loved it, but it wasn't my fucking dad taking me to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Or worse, your mom. What
Or
if your
even
mom was
worse,
taking you to this?
That would just be so weird. Even that thought is awkward still at 36. Like, ugh.
You were
When-
definitely older than me because I was in my 20s and I went with my partner at the time. And me and her sat there and were like, okay, this wasn't as sexy as I thought. It's kind of weird. This poor chick's up there taking her clothes off, trying to make $1. And we just felt bad for her. Like, how could
There's
you
reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can you get off on
15,
that?
I was having a blast.
See, and all the 15, well, all the 18-year-olds in there were, as I assume they were 18, were in there loving it, getting drunk.
But I was also
and,
drunk.
having
It's a
ball.
lot easier to
Yeah.
objectify someone if you're drunk